Rangers manager Michael Beale says he needs no assurances over his position despite the club's poor start to the season. Let's head to Mark Benstead for a little bit more on this. Mark, you spoke to Beale at his news conference this morning. I mean, really, how much pressure is he under?
Morning, Hayley. Yeah, Glasgow's a funny old city. Every Rangers and Celtic manager is under pressure 365 days a year. But I think it's fair to say that the scrutiny, the focus on Michael Beale has increased over the last fortnight. Going into the international break, they went out of the Champions League and then lost the first Old Firm game of the season to their rivals Celtic, and that leaves them 4 points off the pace in the league table already, and we're only in September. And you saw the reaction at the end of that Old Firm defeat from some supporters, and it just underlined the changing of mood around the club in the early stage of this season. They are far from happy, and there's a sense within the city that some supporters, not all, but some supporters are kind of done. They don't see Michael Beale taking them where they want to go. So there's been a lot of focus and lead-in to today's media conference to see how he would deal with that. And it wasn't an all-guns-blazing response from Michael Beale this morning. It was pretty measured, pretty focused, I think I'd have to characterise it at. He said since that defeat there's been a lot of reflection, a lot of communication with his players. He made reference to the reaction of fans, and he knows that fans are frustrated with him and with some of his players, and he's of a mind to try and give them a reaction this weekend. But he also took away the excuses. He said, look, we've got a lot of new players in, but that's not an excuse now. They've had a lot of time together to work, that there should be a better level of performance from this group now. He was asked, given the speculation, but whether he spoke to those above him for assurances about his position. As you mentioned earlier, he says, I don't need assurances about my position, and that's because he feels pretty comfortable in his relationships with those in the positions above him here at Ibrox. He says his relationships with the boardroom remains as strong as ever.
I don't need assurances. I'm part of a plan in terms of where we're going as a club. It's something that I'm fully aware and involved in. And ultimately, a football manager needs to win games of football. In the last two, we didn't win, so we need to get back to winning. And we've got, 7 games in 22 days now, so there's a good opportunity for us to do that. I speak to James Bisgrove every day. I speak to John Bennett and other members of the board at least 2 or 3 times a week as normal, so nothing's changed in that respect. We've sat and discussed this first period up to the September international break, and like we do at all the international breaks, it's a chance for reflection for us. The last 3 or 4 days went for sure. Obviously, they were 2 big games, and both results didn't go the way that we wanted, and that's the reality of it. There's been some good things. There's been some things we certainly need to improve on, and that's been the honest reflection. They're sharing their frustration. It was heard loud and clear. I don't think there's much time for talking now. I think we need to make it up to them on the pitch in performances and results. I think that the fans are sharing their frustration and anxiety with the way the start of the season has gone. I think that's quite natural for any group of fans to show that.
Next up for Michael Beale and Rangers, a trip to Perth tomorrow to face St Johnstone. He'll head there without a couple of important players, though. Both Todd Cantwell and Kieran Dowell out for the next 3 or 4 matches with knee problems that followed that last match against Celtic. The game up on the horizon is a game against St Johnstone. Maybe just worth pointing out that last November they went to the same opponents, the same grounds, when Giovanni van Bronckhorst was under pressure. They lost that day, and 2 games later, Giovanni was gone.